Welcome to Badminton Weekly with me, Jasmine Lim. It was an exciting week at the leading China Masters, where some players made a last dash for a place at the HSBC BWF World Tour finals. Liang Wei-keng and Wang Cheng, however, failed to qualify following their second-round defeat to Sabar Karyaman Gautama and Moreza Pahlavi Isfahani. The world number ones were not the only Chinese shuttlers to miss out on the finals. Li Shifeng also failed to secure a spot after losing in the first round of the Super 750 event. So, who are the final 8 that have qualified for Hangzhou? All the Olympic gold medalists are given an automatic spot at the HSBC BWF World Tour finals without the need to qualify. But that didn't stop An Se-young from reaching 4th in the women's singles ranking after final appearances in Odense and Shenzhen. Joining the Korean star will be 2 representatives from China, Thailand and Japan, along with bronze medalist Gregoria Mariska Tunjung to make up the final 8. An Se-young will be one of the favorites for the finals after winning her 5th title of the year last week.
항저우에 월드투어 파이널 뛸 수 있는 부분에서 너무나도 좋게 생각하고 행복한 부분이고요. 또 월드투어 파이널을 준비하면서 저의 몸 상태가 더 좋아질 거라고 생각이 들기 때문에 되게 기분이 좋은 것 같아요. 당연히 저의 한 해 마지막 대회이기 때문에 올림픽처럼 준비를 해서 좋은 결과를 가져올 수 있도록 해야 될 것 같아요. 잘 준비해야지만이 그 대회를 뛸 수 있다고 생각하기 때문에 부상을 제일 조심해야 될 것 같고 그게 제일 중요한 부분인 것 같습니다.
In the men's singles, Jonathan Christie climbed from 17th to 7th in the rankings after a semi-final appearance at the Kumamoto Masters and a final at the China Masters to seal his spot for Hangzhou.
First of all, thanks God because I came through to the final. My second final after the post-Olympic. Yeah, it's not easy. I threw to the semi-final also on the 3 tournament. So it's very positive way for me. And yeah, I'm happy.
With Christie overtaking Li Shifeng in 7th spot, that left Shi Yiti as the only representative from China for the HSBC BWF World Tour finals. Olympic medal winners Victor Axelsen, Kunlavut Vittitsan and Li Zijia also booked their place. In the men's doubles, Aaron Chia and So Wee-ik managed to edge out Takura Hoki and Yugo Kobayashi despite losing in the quarterfinal in Shenzhen. The Malaysians will make a 5th appearance at the HSBC BWF World Tour finals alongside compatriots Go Zifei and Nur Izzuddin.
We just have to keep improving more all our conditions. So at first we didn't think about to qualify the World Tour final, and now we are near for that. And yeah, now we lose the round. Then you just hope for the best. If you can qualify, we will do our best.
Malaysia will also have representation in women's doubles in Pearly Tan and Tina Muralitharan. Despite securing a ticket to Hangzhou well before the last Super 750 event, the Malaysian duo are looking to fine-tune their performance after losing for a 5th time this year to Liu Shengshu and Tan Ning.
This was the last tournament before the World Tour finals. I think our momentum is getting there, but I know we're still not that consistent with it. But I'm happy that we are still working on it together, not as a single person. So I think this game also can help us learn from our mistakes, and we still have time before the World Tour finals, so we will fine-tune it and come back stronger during the finals.
In the mixed doubles, Dejan Ferdinand Shah and Gloria Emmanuel Wijaja will be making their first trip to Hangzhou after a great run of 2 final appearances post-Olympics. Wijaja, who played in the season finale 3 years ago with a different partner, was excited about being able to experience it again with Ferdinand Shah.
Sangat bangga juga, maksudnya bangga sama diri saya sendiri juga bisa balik lagi ke World Tour Final dengan partner baru, dengan pengalaman yang baru juga. Jadi mungkin ini pembelajaran yang sangat luar biasa. Jadi persiapannya mungkin lebih ke enjoy aja ya, enjoy the moment gitu. Jadi ekspektasinya nggak terlalu tinggi, nggak mau tinggi-tinggi juga. Jadi aku pengen jalanin ini sebaik mungkin aja gitu. Jadi mau bikin momen baru, cerita baru, dan mau menutup tahun ini dengan yang baik aja.
Hu Pangron has found a perfect partner in Chung Soo-in after changing teammates 4 times in mixed doubles. The 26-year-old, who paired up with Chung only a year ago, had a dream run to the China Masters final and almost beat the new world number ones Huang Dongping and Feng Yanzhe. Despite a runners-up finish, Kirsty Gilmer was impressed by their overall performance in Shenzhen.
Hu and Cheng have flown relatively under the radar up until this point. They became a partnership almost exactly 1 year ago at the Korea Masters 2023, but in the last couple of months they have gone quarter-final of Hong Kong, quarter-final of China, Arctic Open quarter-final, quarter-final of Kumamoto, and now in the final of China Masters. So they have had unbelievable consistency kind of post-Olympics, and along the way they've kind of picked up some good wins against top 15 players. So I think they're really starting to gain some momentum, gain some confidence, and it's so nice to see some fresh faces in the finals of a 750 tournament. So from what I've seen of them, especially in the China Masters, they really seem to work as like a solid pair, and I know that they really seem to play for each other. It doesn't look like two just individual people on the court playing badminton. It really looks like they're setting each other up. There's kind of forethought into everything. I also noticed their ability to, and their audacity to hold net. When most players would probably lift away and kind of be on the defence, they are really taking some chances and really trying to be quite aggressive at the net tape and even below net tape, and kind of hold it kind of 50-50 rather than just giving away the attack. So I think that's worked very well for them. So their ability to hold that net and make their opponents lift and to take advantage of those attacking situations that they've created, I think that's what's seen them through these rounds and get these wins over second seeds in this tournament, and also Tang and Si again, I think. So yeah, I think that's been one of the keys to their success in this tournament. I think Cheng's ability to be calm and find gaps at the net, she has to be so brave and so bold to do that. She just understands how to find those gaps, and in doing that, I think it sets up incredible opportunities for Hu to take advantage in attack. And that's what I mean about them kind of like fitting together well. They kind of build these situations, and you can really break down the rallies and see how they got into such attacking positions. And also when they're not in those perfect kind of Cheng at the front and Hu at the back positions, they don't seem flustered. They seem so calm and so solid when they're side by side. They just really seem to trust each other, which maybe that's why it took a little time to get to this level of consistency. They really had to gain that confidence in each other. So, and I mean, now I think they've got it, and I really hope they get into that groove and they really find their stride going forward. So I think maybe not just specifically for them, but I think for any pair or player, it's obviously incredible when you start to get these bits of success, but it's also something changes in the expectation of yourself and from other people's expectation of you. So we've seen it with Malaysian players before. They get some success and it's kind of quite difficult to replicate it over and over again, but I think the coaches in Malaysia really work hard with the players to not just have these one-off successes. They really look to build on them, and it's going to be tough for them to stay there because now there's kind of more information on them, there's more video on them, their opponents can see more of their habits and their tendencies. If anything, it's going to get tougher for them because it's nice to be the new kids on the block and be the underdogs and have no expectations, but those expectations will come now, but it's how you handle yourself each time you go on court and how you position yourself kind of mentally and emotionally is the tough bit and is normally the key to success, I would say.
Victor Axelsen has announced Denmark legend Peter Gade will join his coaching team next year. The two-time Olympic champion will be training under the former world #1 alongside his current coach Henrik Rode and aims to tap on Gade's vast experience of playing in his 30s.
I was lucky to practice with Peter the last few years of his career, so we've kept in contact sometimes more than others, and we've had the dialogue before in the past, and now was the right time. You know, PK and I, we have a very strong team. He's been my full-time coach now for the last 3 years, but now is the time to maybe to get some new input, get a new great force in the team, and Peter is obviously We know how talented he was as a player, and as a coach he also has a lot of good things that I can learn from. So together with PK they will be a very strong coaching team. Everybody in my team always try to look around and see if we can, be better. Can we do something to get to a high level? And after the Olympics in Tokyo, I made a big change by moving to Dubai, setting up my own training at NAS Sports Complex, having PK as a coach, and now after the Olympics it's a good time again to try something new. I want to keep motivated, and I want to always try new things in order to keep me sharp, and to have Peter around will be a good thing for us, I'm sure. They're going to take turns a little bit. At the All England, they both will be there. But when I'm in Denmark, I will be practicing at the Yonex Peter Gade Academy, and on tour, PK and Gade will sort of divide the tournaments between each other.
Fellow Dane Hans Christian Vittinghus believes it was a great move from Axelsen to include Gade in his coaching setup. The 38-year-old, who will also be coaching Denmark's men's singles team next year, is looking forward to finding potential players to carry on the country's proud tradition.
I think it's a very clear statement from his side, and I think he's also showing that he knows if he doesn't continue to develop, he will not be able to maintain the position he has right now as probably the best. I know he's not the world #1 ranked right now, but I think in most eyes, when it's the biggest events, he's still the guy to beat. And to maintain that position, it's clear that he needs to keep developing his game, and getting Peter Gade into your team is a pretty good way to go if you want to keep developing. He's obviously a guy who has a vast amount of knowledge, and a guy with the right winning attitude as well. So I think it's a huge statement from Victor to say that he's still here, and he's here for the long run, which will be towards the Olympics in LA. So I think first of all he will offer a different perspective. So two coaches, two people will look at things in different ways. Obviously Peter comes from a playing background, which Henrik doesn't. So just in that way they will probably look at things a bit differently. But I think actually the main thing Victor has looked at is he wanted to find someone who has been going through the same stuff as Victor needs to go through now. Victor just is in his 30s now, so he knows that if he wants to stay at the top for LA, he will be 34 at the time. And Peter, he maintained a very high level, won World Championship bronze medals at the age of 33, 34. So he knows everything about how to adjust your training when you are into your 30s, because obviously you cannot be training like you did when you were still in your 20s and young, and your recovery was faster. So in that way, Peter knows everything about what Victor is going to go through. I think that's the main thing, but I actually also think Victor has looked at what is the weakest part of his game. Not that he has any weak parts, but the area of his game where the opponents sometimes find a small advantage is on the front of the court. So his net game is maybe not the best in the world, and that's one area where Peter also excelled a lot. So I think he saw Peter as probably the best candidate out there, because he has two things that Victor might be missing leading up to the Olympics. I think the main thing for me already from the start will be to try and nurture the next generation. So obviously we have Victor and Anders, who are not part of the daily setup in the national team, but they're 30 and 27 years old, so hopefully they will keep on playing for at least 4 more years, but hopefully also even more. So my task will mainly be to bring forward the next batch of players and try to add a little bit of depth in the men's singles group. Obviously we have Rasmus Gemke also, who's regularly playing on the World Tour, but after him we need to bring up a few other guys, and I will try to look into that and up the depth a little bit, and bring in a few more guys on the national team to try and make it like a more fierce competition, and see who will make it through and be the next guys up for keeping the, I would say, proud tradition in Danish men's singles.
That's it from us. The HSBC BWF World Tour is in India this week for the Syed Modi International. Do join us again next week for the biggest stories from that final Super 300 event. We'll also look ahead to the HSBC BWF World Tour finals, which start on December 11th. In the meantime, stay up to date with the latest news by downloading our BWF app, Badminton for You. And as always, guys, do let us know your thoughts, comments, and questions on our Facebook and YouTube pages. See you then!